Kia ora, this is No Vacancy, a track out at the Woodhill mountain bike park. This track's located in the front area of the park. Starts up on Walker Road near the intersection at the end of Chicken Run, and the track is generally downhill and goes down to the gate or carry on from the gate through the last section back out to the car park. The mountain bike park is given this a grade 2 for regular grading, and we've given it a grade 3 for adaptive riding. It's a blend between some nice cross-country windy trail and some other sections where the trail is generally downhill, and the bike will definitely pick up speed, and you need to be onto it with your braking. This first section has a couple of tight turns to get around. The track here is nice and wide, and the berm turns are easy. And now this is a really tight turn for me in the bowhead. I need to take a couple of goes at this. Other riders on Lasher and other bikes seem to not have too much trouble getting around this one, but for me it's definitely 2 takes at it. The trail is quite wide most of the way around. There's a couple of sections where it gets a little narrower on a slight side slope that I'll talk about when we get there. But it's fairly good surface conditions. A typical Woodhill cross-country trail with little bermed turns all the way, all through it, and the standard feature of tree roots to bounce around on a wee bit. None of them are too big, nothing more than 100 millimeters, probably high, but yeah, definitely a bit of a bumpy ride around. The track hasn't necessarily been machine built, but there are really nice bermed turns most of the way around it, and the berm turns are relatively mild in that they have a flattish section on the inside of the turn. So if you're not riding the turn on the berm fast enough, it's easy to go around it slow on the lower section of it. It's also got these sort of rolly features here that we're going through. These would be like a pump track on a regular bike where you'd pump up and down. On these bikes you just hang in there and go for a bit of an up and down. That's a couple of the nice sweepy berm turns there. The track comes along this flat section, a slight incline side slope there to your left, and gets a little narrower along that bit, and then we head down to this section here where the speed starts to pick up, and you need to be able to control the bike on this relatively mild terrain, but you need to manage your brakes on it. Really good trail to move to after the likes of Daddy Longlegs and Sesame Street, where this one combines the safety of a relatively flat terrain and wide track, but includes the nice downhill, steeper, sections where the bike will pick up speed, and your skill development is about controlling the speed of the bike in and out of turns with the brakes. This section coming down here, we are coming to traverse around the back of Tree Adventures, and there's a couple of bigger berm turns around here, but again the track's been kept nice and wide, so the consequences of things going wrong here are pretty low. There's no bridges or structures or anything on this track. There's no steep gradients that you're going to need to deal with. Most of it's just steady downs and ups. there are a couple of sections just in front here where the gradient does go down a bit there, but it goes to a flat section afterwards. And then you come around here, and that's the intersection with over and out that you could come down, traverse along this benched section here beside the road, and then this is the gate, at which point you can either slow down and head back up the road and do more, or this is the final leg out. It's the final section that once you're on this track, you're heading back to the main car park area, and that's where we get in and out of the park through a gate that they've set up for adaptive mountain bikers and group riders. So yeah, a fun trail with lots of interesting features on it, with the berm turns and the little ups and downs and rollers, and an opportunity to really experiment with a bit of speed to challenge yourself. We've just gone past where the gate was, and looks like we're planning to head back up and do some more.